Okay, welcome back. Plodding along. Level 5, Quake 4. And the levels are, at the beginning of the game, fairly short. They do get longer and more difficult, but I know right off the bat these first few levels have been sort of quick and easy, not too many enemies, but that'll change. Alright, so we will go ahead and get started. Interior hangar. Or actually, I'm sorry, interior hangar is the level we just completed. I saved at the exit. Alright, and I was having an exchange with someone in the comments section about the bonus disc for Quake 4. They said they had it and that it was really good. It's a good opportunity to play Quake 2 with a bit of a few enhancements. So I will pick up a copy. I see it's still fairly cheap on eBay. Also, along that vein, I was joking about how I used to have the bonus disc for Halo 2, the collector's edition, on the original Xbox. And that it had that hilarious documentary. I think I mentioned it in one of my Halo 2 videos, that it gets kind of silly because everyone's complaining about how hard they're working and deadlines, blah, blah, blah. And then they have that ridiculous part where they get drunk and play, take a bus and play volleyball on the beach. And it's just, cringy. It reminds me of that scene in Pirates of Silicon Valley when Steve Jobs has all of his minions, catching frisbees on a beach and they start fighting one another.
King, this is Morris. Where the hell are you? Get down here quick. We got a water win, remember?
And I was hard on.
I want a full analysis of that primary console in the southern
on that documentary, both in my comment and was there a tech here?
Corporal
Yes.
Kane, right? Good job clearing out the hangar. From this facility.
I've got no time for talk. This is Raven Squad. Getting no response, Captain. We're gonna need a radio relay placed at the entrance of the mountain.
Repair my armor, please.
Corporal, I refuse to repair this power transfer until I'm assigned additional...
Kane, this is Morris. I'm not getting any younger.
Can't talk right
Get a
now.
move on.
Areas filled with Strong.
Thank you, Private Strauss. Your grievance is noted.
Hello, Corporal Kane. It's good to finally meet you. I am Private Johann Strauss. You have no doubt heard of me. I am far too valuable to be left defenseless. There should be a dozen, so that is all I can do. Go now.
Okay, good enough.
I want this gear prepped
Do I get a
and
medic?
ready in 1 hour.
It takes a full hour just to unbreak this equipment, sir.
I got no time for excuses, Marine.
Look at the configuration of the turbine.
That has to be at least 15% more efficient than anything we had.
And a medic.
Sorry, buddy. I'm a little busy.
Get this to the Hannibal as soon as it lands.
Kane, I'm tired of cooling my heels.
So
Get down
I'm
here
supposed
before
to
I leave
interface
without
the
you.
secondary protocol.
What the hell were you doing? Chatting it up with the local strong women? Come on, let's get back to Rhino Squad.
Alright, so here's the truth about that documentary, which was probably made in 2002? Because I think the game came out in 2004, so probably was made in 2002 or 2003.
Corporal Kane, enjoying your first day with Rhino Squad? Here's something I found you might be able to use. Now that the hangars are out of commission, we have a clear path to the air defense cannon. Let's move!
Alright, not sure I'll be using this too much. Not a big fan of the grenade launcher.
You and me, Strong. Sledge and Morris, take up a position. We're staying here.
Alright, so here's the truth about that documentary, though. As hard as I was on it, I will give credit to that documentary for... I will give credit to that documentary for being honest. Nowadays, when you see like behind-the-scenes docu-type stuff, it's always... And Red Letter Media kind of touched on this, but it's always like glossy and cleaned up, and it's dishonest. Like, everyone had such a good experience. Everyone was working so hard and got along beautifully. You know, they never... It just doesn't feel honest.
Good job, Kane. Here, watch our backs.
I think we would all prefer it if it was a little more grounded in reality. Like, the best example I can think of... Oh, didn't even see that guy. Yeah, visually I just can't seem to find the enemies. But, if any of you own the Phantom Menace on DVD, that is the classic example of a behind-the-scenes that is extremely honest about the process. I'll pin both, I'll pin something that I think is worth watching, but you can watch the entire behind the scenes of the Phantom Menace. You know, compare that to like any behind the scenes. Maybe I will use a grenade launcher.
Good job, men. Mission accomplished. This is Lieutenant Voss to HQ. The cannon is under Marine control.
Affirmative, Lieutenant. The Hannibal is now in geosynchronous orbit and beginning descent. Sir, how are we going to get to the landing zone with that locked surface door in our way?
Kane, hop in the cannon and see if you can't blow open the door to the access corridor.
Not a vehicle section, but still something supplemental. But on the Phantom Menace, it's very, like, very real, very organic compared to, you know, like if you, I haven't seen any of the recent Star Wars movies, but I'm sure if you watch the behind the scenes, I've heard that Kathleen Kennedy is just, and J.J. Abrams are just waxing on and on about what a wonderful process it is.
Sledge, you're with me on clear. Kane, you go help clear out the LZ. Good luck.
And one thing in particular on the Phantom Menace, I'll pin the I'll pin the entire Phantom Menace behind the scenes featurette because it is on YouTube. But one part that always struck me in particular is the the part with the audition for young Anakin Skywalker, if you can believe that. So they auditioned several kids, including Jake Lloyd, who did eventually get the part. And, you know, I don't know what everyone was thinking. I think one big idea you can take away from the whole behind-the-scenes featurette is that, unfortunately for George Lucas, he was surrounded by yes men, and that's kind of what happens when he's given complete control of the project after, you know, all the success of the original Star Wars has had, you know, 20 years to marinate, and guys like Joseph Campbell, you know, the mythographer, waxing on about how brilliant, you know, George Lucas was for, you know, doing Star Wars, how it lines up with the hero of 1,000 Faces.
Clear the cannon for detonation! They're going to destroy the cannon! Charges activated. Detonation in 3, 2, 1. Do I love my job? Come on, Marie. Let's get to the LZ and join the party.
But they're surrounded by yes men, and they're all, of course, nodding and agreeing with George Lucas every step of the way. And they get to the part with the auditions with Jake Lloyd, and I think they auditioned like 2 other kids. And it's clear that Jake Lloyd is the worst. Oh, wrong weapon.
Now passing through the stratosphere. Braking procedure has begun.
One of them, who was operating under the screen name Devin Richards, a blonde kid who looks a lot like a young Mark Hamill.
Is now in the troposphere. Landing zone in sight.
He does not get the part, and it's shocking because his audition was really good.
Our pleasure.
He gave a much more somber performance than Jake Lloyd's, you know, kind of hammy, cartoonish. And in hindsight, it's so funny, you know, because there's, you know, Devin Richards and even the other kid, the first kid, they both give pretty solid auditions, screen readings with Natalie Portman. And Jake Lloyd gives, you know, one that's not all that dissimilar from the kind of ridiculous performance he gave in the film. And then there's all George's yes men. Oh, you know, George says, I really like Jake Lloyd, and all the yes men. Yeah, we love it. Jake Lloyd is the right one. We agree. Yes, we absolutely love his performance. It's like, what are you guys smoking? What are you seeing? You know, it's just a shame that George Lucas didn't have someone in his inner circle to say, you know what, let's try again. All right, so that's the end of this. So, how many links are we going to pin? We're going to pin the featurette, and you can just kind of skip through the featurette if you'd like and look for the Jake Lloyd audition, or this Devin Richards audition. And we'll also pin the link to the Halo 2 bonus featurette. Like I said, I went kind of hard on it, because it was silly, but I will take that sort of more realistic behind the scenes over the kind of crap we get today. I guess I also do have to pin, if you watch no other one, watch it's a very quick one. It's a clip from RLM called Star Wars Isn't Special Anymore, where Mike Stocklazza does a very good job of demonstrating contrasting the old Star Wars behind the scenes featurette from the Phantom Menace to the newer ones you get with J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy, and how they're so different and how you'd rather have the one that's more real. I highly recommend, if you're going to watch at least one of the links I have pinned in the comments, that is the one you should check out. It's quick. It's only 2 minutes. Okay, so interior hangar, I guess that's what we're overwriting. Let's see, and let me just check and see what the name of that file is for next time. Is it air defense bunker? No, it's MCC landing site. Okay, so next time we pick up, we'll be doing MCC landing site. And yeah, if you just have a couple extra minutes, check out at least one of the links in the pinned comments. And as usual, thanks for swinging by.